everyone, and welcome back. Happy New Year's. I hope you all had a marvelous holiday season and it was restful and peaceful, and you were able to spend some time with family or alone, whatever you prefer. We had a good holiday season here, and it's that time of year on Flosstube. It's whip parade season and plans. So today I am going to be showing you my plans for 2025. It's kind of like a mini whip parade, but not a full whip parade. So my name is Sarah. I go by Lady Lugana here on Flosstube, Sarah Van Wy on Instagram, and you are all very welcome here. I'm so excited to get into this. So I decided today to do a wrap up of December of all the things that I stitched on. I have a finish, and I made some good progress. You guys voted on my last video on a couple of projects I should work on, so I will show you those. And then I have all of the things that I want to stitch on with some goals for each project in 2025. I have a stitch along idea, and then things I'd like to start, and some of the gifts, that stitchy kindness and gifts and things of that nature. So I wanted to ask, let me ask, I would be curious if you guys are actually interested in a whip parade. You'll see the amount of work I have on my projects thus far, and I have about 100 projects. And so I would be curious if you're interested in seeing them, even if they don't have a large amount of progress on each of them. And if you are interested in a whip parade, then I can add that maybe in the middle of the month as an Flosstube extra. Anyway, so let me get started. Let me first start off with what I always forget to do, which is my last month of the Book of Days. I have not received my new one quite yet. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. It should be here any day, I think. But this is my December. And as you can see, I have all the fun vintage stickers in for this month. And I had a lot of stitching time in December. I actually was off for a good part of it, which was fun. So I got extra stitchy time in. So that is my Book of Days for December. And then the first thing I wanted to show you is a finish. I finally finished the Nutcracker Parade. So this is a pattern by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And let me pull it up for you so you can see I made some changes. And I forgot my board, but that's okay. Nutcracker. So you can see the original. Oops. Maybe. This is what the original looks like. You can kind of see it down there. And I stitched mine on 28 count Crystal Dwarf. And it's mostly, I'm sorry, I keep bumping you already with, I've set my computer on a stool and I'm bumping it with my knees. A Crystal Dwarf. And it is stitched 2/2 with mostly the called for. I don't have any of my thread or anything out. I've pulled all the projects, but I switched all of the these aren't stars, snowflakes out for a petite treasure braid, and I talked about that in my last video if you are interested. And then I also switched out the Sugar Plum Fairy's float, all of the white on her float, with a variegated floss that looks like cotton candy. And so it is finally done. I started this, so I initially started it in like September of 2021, and then I restarted it November, December, maybe October of 2021. Isn't it so cute? Oh. So this makes my 4th or 5th finish of the year. Oh, it's so pretty. And so I think it was something like 10,000 stitches if I remember right. It could be that my counter was off though. It was reading the pattern a little weird in my app. So that is my finish of the Nutcracker Parade, which I'm very pleased about. So now to figure out how to, I think a soft finish, I'm going to try to maybe make it into a pillow. I need to practice first though. So, and then the next things I'm going to show you are just the things I've worked on. And a couple of them are going to be plans for next year. So all the Christmas and winter things will go first. I'll show you what I worked on and what my plans are for these projects moving forward too. So the next one was a vote by you lovely viewers. And this was Rabbit by Svetlana. Let me pull it up. This is what it's going to look like. So cute. I just discovered one of the comments in the comment section said that there was a whole slew of these animals, and I finally found them and was so excited to find them. I am stitching this 2/1 on an 18 count natural Aida with sparkly natural Aida. I can't think of the word right now, but this is where I am. So when you last saw it, I had like just this much an ear. And so I was able to get, well, maybe a little bit of the face was done, but mostly just an ear. And I was able to get all of the face finished, started on the clothing. I got the snowflakes in surrounding him. And then the reason I stalled out is because I ran out of floss. So I ran out of I didn't have the color down here, so I had to go pick some up. And my goal for him, he is only 4,000 stitches and I am at like 38% done on him. So my goal for him in the next year is possibly getting him finished. Isn't he so darling? Oh my goodness, I love him. And so that is my first plan and whip for the new year. The second one that I worked on that I will carry into 2025 with plans to work on is Winter Impressions by Dimensions. I love this kit. This is a kit that is no longer in production, but it's not hard, it's not terribly difficult to come by it on the secondary market. eBay has it pop up quite regularly. And so I'm stitching this with all of the kit supplies, which is a 16 count blue Aida. It's like a pale blue-gray Aida. And then the kit floss. And it is a variation of, if you're familiar with Dimensions, a variation of tent stitches, full crosses, and kind of different amounts of thread depending on where you are. And so this is where I am. And it's showing just, it's a much brighter. This red is much more, that's probably actually closer to real. Much brighter in person. But what did I get done? So I carried all of this over. I don't have something to point with. Here we go. I did all of this section here. I started the driver and carried it all the way down, getting his lap and his gloves and part of his chest in. And then I finished the gentleman's coat down here. So for this piece, my goal is I would love to achieve the section that is all X's. So the background is all tent stitch, all half stitches. And so the foreground is the carriage, the couple that are walking under the umbrella, and then the horses. I would love to get all of that stitched in this next year as my goal on this. These may be lofty goals. I've never really made goals, specific goals per project like this that I can remember. I may have never held myself to them, but that is Winter Impressions. And it's just beautiful. This is one of my husband's favorites. So he'll be happy if I work on it more. So that is whip number 2 and moving into the new year as well. The next one is, it's a sad, sad story. This is Christmas Advent, and I love this one. I'm sorry if you can hear my husband banging. He's decided to start working right in the middle of filming. I apologize. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. I'll keep going. We'll take a listen and see if I need to restart. This is Christmas Advent by Crochet Go-Go. This is what it's going to look like. This is one of my older whips. And last year, I had to pull out all of Santa. It's right here. All of Santa. I had to take basically all of him out because he was miscounted. And so I picked him up again this year. And then I got quite a bit done on the tree. And then I had to take all of that out. So I just can't count on this one for some reason. But this is stitched 2/2 with the called for on a 32 count flax. And this is where I am. So since you've last seen it, I basically did border, moving these down and filling in with these little flowers, and I started Santa's hat. And so this project, my goal would I would love to get 4 blocks fully finished. So 1, 2, 3, and then another one to get the total of 4 additional blocks done. 4 or 5 would be the goal. And this is quite a bit of stitching. It is deceptive. You see the pattern and you're like, oh, that's not too much stitching, but that's very dense stitching, and it's very cute though. You can see, I can't tell. Yeah. So that is Christmas Advent by Crochet Go-Go, and that will be carried into the new year as well. The next one is a new start that I started this Christmas. This is a lavender and lace, and it is Santa of the Forest. I've been holding off stitching on this one for a while, and I finally caved. I went through my fabric stash and found something perfect for it, so I started it. I love this one. This is one of my favorite Santas that lavender and the Maryland Levitt emblem put out, if I said that right. I have holiday brain. I've had too much food this holiday season. My brain's fuzzy from all the baked goods and delicious foods. So this is new start, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count. Picture this plus cyprium? I'm not sure how to say it, but this fabric is glorious because you can kind of tell it has little hints of green and red modeling throughout it. And so this is where I got to. Oh, it's so good. So I started right in the middle, worked on the bear, and then carried it all the way over so that I could get to the top and then work from top down. I'm finding that my preference for working on fancy ladies is to go from top down. And so that's probably how I'm going to try to approach it moving forward. But I wanted him to be centered on the fabric in case I wanted to do like a big round. I'm not sure how I want to frame him, but that is where I got. And I am using the called for DMC, my lovely hanging thread. So I just look at the holly in his hat, or he's got a garland that kind of drapes over his hood. It's absolutely beautiful the way they do this. So love this one. And then my goal for this is most of my fancy, actually I think all of my fancy ladies, and this one is to get 25% of the first top half of the pattern done. So he will be carried into the next year as well. The next one is a start by the request of my husband. I think I had started this. I just maybe haven't shown it to you. It is a Douglas Designs, so by Virginia Douglas, called Carousel Fantasy, Christmas Carousel Fantasy. And he wanted me to start one of these. Specifically started the polar bear down here. This guy. And it doesn't look like a lot of stitching. It's actually, you look at it, you're like, oh, that's going to go really fast. Well, it's surprising, and I should have brought the Krynic. When I show in follow-up, I'll show you the Krynic, etc. Every single color except I think one in this pattern calls for blending filament. So it's the whole thing. Every single stitch I have made so far has had either Krynic as the primary thread or a DMC with a blending filament, and it's absolutely pretty. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's shiny, it's sparkly. I wonder if you can kind of see every single one of these stitches. And I have very little experience working, this is probably closer to the coloring, working with blending filament. So this is a project that you have to take some time on. It takes the extra time, but the colors are just so beautiful, and you can see. And I'm using a lot of stuff that I have in my stash on this one. So, and I don't know, this is a mystery fabric. I'm not sure. It's an even weave, and it's a 32. No, I think it's a 28 count mystery fabric. So that is beautiful. And my goal for this would be 50% of the pattern done. My husband would like a finish, but we'll start with a 50% goal. The next pattern is one that you voted on. And it is the queen that I'm going to focus on until it's finished. The queen moving in until I want to do all the Mirabilia queens, and this is going to be the one that I focus on. And this is a Royal Holiday. The other name for it is a Christmas Queen, and she's beautiful. If you want to see a finish, you should check out Tammy Cinnamon Stitches. She has this piece finished, and she has just finished, I believe, Gift of Peace, which she's been working on, which is a lavender and lace, which she had been working on over the past month. They are absolutely beautiful. So check out her Instagram and or check out her channel, because you can see this in the background of her Flosstube. It's pretty. So that is a Christmas Queen. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count gingerbread Lugana by Picture This Plus with the called for stitched 2/2. And oh man, she's pretty. Isn't she lovely? My goodness. And what did I accomplish on her? So I essentially got from here in her hair all the way down. I filled in her neck, and then I started her cloak, but I was stalled out because I did not have the right whisper. The whisper I had was much too dark. It was the wrong number, and so I hemmed and hawed, and Mike weighed in. He finally said, you need the right color to make it pop against this fabric. So I ordered it, and I'm waiting for it to arrive. So she got put away. But isn't she lovely? My goodness. Yeah. And so same for her. I'd like to get the first half of quarter of the first page done. So it's less than 25% because her dress is bigger, but a quarter of the pattern done, I guess. So that's her. And then let me tell you about stockings. So let me show you, we as a family have grown up with Buchilla felt stockings. My mom made one for all of us, and then I made one for Mike. And so this is the one my mom made me. It's so cute. This is the one I made for Mike, and I had never done any crafting when I did this. And so this was my very first, I guess, apart from crochet, My very first sewing of any variety was on the Santa stocking, and I think it turned out great. And so I wanted to make one for coconut and for primrose. So I worked on coconuts, which I started like 8 years ago and haven't finished. Hers is Buddy. The pattern's called Santa Paws. It's glary, I'm sorry, but it's got all the dogs on it. Coconuts are Westy, number 1, and then Primrose has one with candy cane Santa all over it. And so I got a little bit of progress. The goal is to finish this year, if possible. But in addition to the felt stockings, we have multiple fireplaces. So I also wanted us to have some kind of vintagey looking cross-stitch stockings. And I love the shepherd's bush stockings. They are very primitive in appearance, and so I wanted to do these as well. And so I started coconuts as the first one because she has yet to receive a stocking. And I'm stitching her Harry stocking. And I am using the called for material, which is actually, what's it called? Pearl cotton, DMC pearl cotton. And I'm stitching it on 20 count natural linen. And I didn't get very far. It's much, I'm sure you're familiar with pearl cotton, but if you're not, it's much thicker. And using this fabric, 1/1 on this fabric, it actually made my hands ache a little bit. So it's going to take some time to get this one done, I think. I have to take some breaks in between. But I started right in the middle with Santa's jumper, his striped suit there. It's very cute. So I think this is going to be very cute when it's all done. These are going to be large though. These are big stockings. It's not going to be small. And so this will be the series of cross-stitch stockings that I do for S4 as well. So I need to finish 2 felt stockings and 4 cross-stitch stockings. This one is, actually this is one of the few I just don't have a goal on. I'll work on it here and there, but really the goal is to get her felt stocking done first. So that is Harry's stocking. So that is all of the things that I worked on in the month of December, and the things that I'm carrying forward for winter stitching and Christmas stitching in 2025. So let's see. Actually, I had one more, but I'll talk about that later. Let's see. Next, why don't I tell you about a start along, stitch along, join in the fun kind of whenever you want idea for 2025. So I have never stitched a Hands Across the Sea sampler. And so I thought for the year of 2025, having a Hands Across the Sea sampler would be something new, fun, and a learning experience for me. So I think most of you, not most of you, but a lot of you have Hands Across the Sea samplers going and or are interested in starting them or have a collection of them. And so this year I was going to suggest we use the hashtag #HatsOff22025 so that we can all see each other's progress and just the starts that we have on the beautiful reproduction samplers. So you don't have to start it with me this month. You can start it whenever you want in the year. You can post. You don't have to post. I'd love to see your work though. But this is just so that there's a nice collection of 2025 Hands Across the Sea samplers. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think of that. I started mine last night for New Year's as a New Year's start, as well as for my birthday start. My birthday's in about a week, so. And this one is, the one I elected to start with is Jane Hopkins, 1875. And Samantha the Huga Stitcher is also stitching this, so you should check out her channel because there is, she started smack in the middle and you can see her progress. She's using 46 count in DMC and it's beautiful. And this is what it'll look like. Like that. It's absolutely stunning. And I'm stitching mine on a 46 count Autumn Gold by XJU Design. And I'm using the Victoria Clayton Silk Pack. And this is where I got to. So I have decided, I'm a little nervous, but I said I would give it a try. I'm going to start and I'm going to try to do the whole border and hope that it matches up. So what I'm doing is the green border, and then I'm cross-checking my counting. If you can see, there is a red, oh, that's not red, that's gold, a gold stitch that parallels the green border, so I'm cross-checking my counting with that. But I think this fabric is absolutely like almost a dead-on match for what the picture looks like. And so I was very excited. And these little, I wanted to test out a strawberry. I wanted to get a pop of color in there. Look how beautiful that is. And this is 1/2 on 46 count. This is the full width. And this is halfway down the length of it. Oops. So, hats off to 2025, everybody. It's going to be a great year. And I don't know if I've said this yet, but the way I'm approaching my stitching this year is I'm going to try and at least work on something until I have between 1,000 and 1,500 stitches before I switch it up. And for this, my goal, I think, was just low numbers, 3,000 stitches on it for this one. And so that is my first sampler. So that's the next category, is samplers. My next sampler that I would like to work on this year is also a sampler that Samantha, the Huga Stitcher, is working on. We're working on it together. This is called, let me see if I can find it, Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl. And this is what it looks like, the 2020 Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl. It's pretty. And I'm stitching mine on a 40 count Picture This Plus doubloon, and I'm using a silk conversion by Mrs. Sadis Silks. This is where I am. And the goal for this, if I can get it and show it to you without throwing it and dropping it, is to finish out this house and stitch the entire white house, finish this motif. And so getting the 2 houses done in totality would be the goal this year. I think getting those chunks of color out will be great. This is so cute. It looks so tiny on this fabric. But the stitches, I love the Mrs. Sadis Silks. They're a little fresher. The pattern itself looks like very autumnal in color palette, but Mrs. Sadis Silks give it a bit of a freshness to it, and I like that. And so that is where I am on this. 2 houses. We shall see. The next pattern is one that you may have not seen yet. It's not a new start, but it's one that I've worked on in the past. I just haven't shown it on the Flosstube, which is another reason. Tell me what you guys think about a whip parade with low progress on some of the projects. Anyway, this is Peacock Sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. Twin Peak Primitives. Blah, blah. This is what it's going to look like. Oh, it's so pretty. I just love the colors. The colors are just delicious. Look at those blues and those oranges and that pink house. So pretty. And I'm stitching this 2/2 on 36 count Tycho by Picture This Plus. And this is where I am. Oh, so pretty. The flower. And so I think the goal, I didn't actually come up with a goal for this one. Probably around 3,000 stitches. I'd love to get 25% on these samplers. That seems like a stretch goal though. And what's nice about Tycho, and you may not be able to tell it on this piece, there's just this faint modeling with it, just hints, like a hint of a gray slate. It's a beautiful neutral. And so I think this is going to turn out beautifully. Those flowers are lovely. So that is sampler number 3 that I want to work on in the new year. So the next one, let's do Quakers. I only have one Quaker that I have slotted to work on, but I do have a Quaker slotted to start. This one is called Rose Quaker. And it is, oh goodness. I don't know how to pronounce the German on this pattern. It's by, actually doesn't say on my pattern. I will try to remember to put it in the description box below. It is a German company, and this particular pattern, I recommend always going to their website because I believe this company has had patterns that have been taken and sold illegally without copyright. And so this is Rose Quaker. This is what it will look like. Which I think is absolutely beautiful. The other person that I just recently watched who is working on this is the Seattle Stitcher. So she has progress on this as well. It's quite lovely. And I'm stitching this also on 46 count. This is Morganite by Fiber on a Whim. It is a beautiful, and let's see if I can get it to, it doesn't really do it justice. It's just this beautiful pale shade of pink. And I'm doing it 1/2 with Vicky Clayton Silks. Let's see if I can. And those tiny stitches. Such tiny stitches are beautiful. And I think the Vicky Clayton Silks are just going to look beautiful on this. Let's see if I can. It's still not quite right, but regardless, my goal on this would be 5 motifs. So, in addition to finishing this one out, which is like almost done, but not quite. So that is my Quaker that I'm bringing into 2025 to work on. All right. Then let's do Fancy Ladies. Oh, no, Fancy Ladies is on the bottom. I'll go through the seasonal pieces that I'm considering. The first season I have is something that I think it looks springy. And this is Ink Circles. And this is After the Roses. I think this is beautiful. The colors, they're minty greens and pinks and fresh greens. They're just lovely. Yeah. And I'd really love to get this done. That's probably a stretch goal, so conceivably I could probably get about 50% of it done. And I'm stitching this 2/2 on, this is a 32 count. I don't remember, maybe Silver Moon, I think. I'll have to look. But I got bored apparently right in the middle and have a hanging thread. Is this the right way? Yeah, this is the corner. And it's just beautiful. Just beautiful. I love how my ring light makes things change when it focuses. It's interesting how it plays with color. But I would love to get 50%. That's actually probably a little more accurate right there. 50% done on this as well. And so that's my spring piece. that I'm carrying into 2025. Next are Halloween and Autumn. The first Halloween piece I have is a well-known piece. It is Halloween at Haw Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. You are all very familiar with this, and if you follow me previously, then you'll know that Samantha the Huga Stitcher and Erica from Fibers and Floss Canada, we did a round robin with one of our works in progress. And Samantha sent her Haw Run Hollow, and we were able to put a lot of work into it. And so this is what it looks like, the pattern. And I started this. This is a restart, essentially, from this past October. Did I restart it, or had I started it? I don't remember, but it's a restart this year. I think it was this past October, or September. And I'm stitching it 1/2 on 46 count honey by Bestitch Me using the Vicky Clayton silks, which are absolutely beautiful. With the exception of the border, which I'm using a thread silken colors. Yeah, silken colors called acorn threads, something like that. If you have any questions about these, and just reach out to me. I've spoken about it in previous videos, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. But this is where I am. Yeah. And the goal, actually, this might be a stretch goal, but my goal is to get across. That would be great, wouldn't it? All the way across. Yeah. We'll see. Look how big this fabric is. It's probably oversized, but it's so pretty though. Look at that. Look at the richness of those colors. I love autumn stitching. And so this is my first Halloween project. My second Halloween project is by Plum Street Samplers. It is a Ghoul Tide Welcome. Oh, and this one is more vintage, darker colors. I love it. I'm stitching this one 2/2 on 36 count Ale by Picture This Plus using the called for NPI silks. Oh, look how dense that is. That's just beautiful. That's so pretty. And I didn't set a goal on this one, so I'll have to think of one. Tell me what you guys think. I had thought about getting this whole like pot done. So carrying this down and getting this whole pot. I'd love to get over to this house and bust out the house, but that's a lot of stitching. So we'll see. We'll see what that one brings. Then the next one is one I don't think you guys have ever seen. I stitched on it for one day on Halloween, last Halloween. It is one of my favorite patterns. I've watched it and wanted to start it for 3 years, basically. Actually, I don't know when it came out, but for forever it feels like. This is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain by Kathy Barrick. Oh, so good. This is my autumn stitch. Although it kind of looks like a Halloween stitch still. But it's what I'm calling autumn. And, oh, it's so good. I'm stitching this on 46 count Driftwood by XJU Design. Rustic Driftwood. I don't have very much done. I just started smack in the middle. Yeah, I wanted to get... And my goal on this was to get this section done and then start the border. Yeah. I love this fabric. I feel like it's, once again, like XJU Designs, like perfect fabric matching for some of these patterns. So, yep. I love this one. This is just so nice to work with. I love it. I'm sorry if you can hear the banging again. It's resumed. I'm just gonna grab my shawl. It's a little chilly here. It's weird. We've had unseasonably warm weather, but today it's like the last unseasonably warm day, and I can feel like the air is damp. You can feel the cold coming in. We might get some snow. We'll see. We did have a white Christmas, which was lovely. Next is summer. So this is a pattern by Finally a Farm Girl. This is Home is Where You Drop Your Anchor. This is what it'll look like. I think it's so fun. It's just primitive. I went to Bar Harbor. We have been to Bar Harbor a couple of times. No, we've been to, Bar Harbor a couple of times, but we went on holiday. And so we drove up to the Crafty Grimalkin in Maine, and I kitted this whole thing up there. But this home, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, downtown, their historic district, their Strawberry Bank, there is a home that is this color. It just, I was like, oh, this really looks like New England to me. And so I'm stitching this, and this is a lot of tone on tone. You can't see very much of it right now. I'm stitching this on a 36 count Atomic Ranch in the colorway Eucalyptus. And I don't have very much done. I worked on it just on that holiday. There we are. A tiny little fish in there. Using all the called for, I was able to kit the whole thing up there. Oh, and I have to tell you, I've never used Atomic Ranch fabrics, but this is just so nice. It's very soft. And so this particular pattern, the goal was to get down to this house and maybe stitch this house in the corner. We'll see. A lot of house stitching. Now he's sanding. It's good. It's good. I'm sorry if you can hear that. He's hard at work on our house. I can't complain. The next piece I have, I hope I'm not showing you the patterns, is a 4th of July piece. And it's called Salute to Abigail, and it's by Blackbird Designs. That's what it looks like. And I'm stitching this 2/2 with the called for silken thread. Is that what it's called? No, Thread Gatherer silk. And this is a 36 count platinum linen by Zweigart. And this is where I am. I think this is platinum. Yeah, platinum. Oh, I love these colors. And I'd really love to get at least 50% of this done. The alphabet going all the way across the top, all the way down like to here. Might be a little less than 50%, but because that's pretty dense stitching, but down to there would be where I'd like to get to. So, and that comes from this book, Sweet Land of Liberty. I love this book. There are so many beautiful designs. I love, where is it? There's another one I wanted to show you. I would love to stitch, I'd love to stitch everything. It's this one. I love that pin keep with the big flag on the, and I love these types of, I don't know what this is called when you have that flag on your windows, but it's like idyllic. Anyway, so that is one of my 4th of July pieces / summer pieces to focus on. Next is my last 4th of July piece. This is an oldie but a goodie. I made some progress on it this year. This is a Twin Peak Primitives as well, One Nation Under God. Love it. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha with the called for. This is actually charted in Weeks Dye Works. The charted again, there's another chart that is got DMC as well. This also has DMC listed. So this is where I am. Wow. It's so pretty. So light's being washing out just a little bit, but the goal for this is to get to 25%. So I think I'm at 14%. Another 11% on this. I would love to get the big white house done. That would be great. It's kind of a get the house done kind of year, but we'll see. So this is a big fabric. I don't know if I need this amount. I may have overestimated. This is one of the very first projects I started. So it's an older whip. Okay. Ooh, my piles are tumbling. Next, I shall show you, let me show you my full coverage. I do not know what projects to work on for full coverage. I am conflicted with the exception of one, which you're all very familiar with if you've watched my channel. It's Eugenie. So the first one I'll show you is one that I started. I started this with Katie from Red Stitchery. Katie, I'm sorry. My brain's not working. I started this with Katie, and it is called A View from the Window. It is beautiful. I love it. She inspired me with her plan to start this. And she's made good progress. She showed it in her last video and it was fantastic. This is what it'll look like. It is about 95,000 stitches. So it is one of my smaller full coverage pieces. Oh, it's just so pretty. Look at that. My goodness. But it's unique for me in that I'm using an 18 count Aida. I have never done that on a full coverage because there are blended threads in this. And so this is where I am. It is the top left corner. Right up here. Ooh, glare. This corner here. It's beautiful colors. It's very easy to stitch. I got about 1,200 stitches into it in December. And so I'd like to get, I don't have solid goals, but this one I had thought maybe 8,000 stitches in this next year. I don't know. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. So that's, tell me what you guys think, which one of these I should work on, because I have so many full coverages, not a whole lot of progress on most of them, and there's no way that I'm going to finish these before I die. Let's be realistic. They're just fun to work on. So I'm not sure which one to prioritize. I do think I want to work on this year. This is one of my favorites. It's where is it? Dress of Daydreams. This is a Heaven and Earth chart, Josephine Wall's artwork. And I love the colors on this. That is, there we are. That's not much better. There we go. And most of my full coverage, I stitch 1/1 on 28 count, and I start basically everything in the upper left. So this has 2,400 stitches out of 274,000. Oh, but I love the way that looks. I love this one. So that's one option for full coverage. The one that we know 100% that I'm going to work on is Empress Eugenie Surrounded by Ladies. This is Heaven and Earth Designs, 1/1 on 28 count. The artwork is by Franz Xavier Winterhalter. This is what it will look like. And my goal on this one is to get 36,000 stitches, which will essentially double what I have. I have over 40,000, so it'll be almost double. That is where I am. Oh, so good. I like, if you follow Jessie Marie Does Stuff, I like the way she thought about her whip boards this year. She put a full coverage whip board together where it was stitches. So like if block number 11 and 20 got called, then you worked 1,100 and 2,000 stitches in just one piece. It's like a one piece board. I thought that was a great idea, so I might do that this year. Ooh, I have to sneeze, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. And so 36,000 is the goal. If I did the whip board like Jessie Marie suggests, then it's going to be, I think, about 32,000. So that would be very close to the goal. So that is, man, that's pretty. That is my Empress Eugenie. So that's whip number, I don't know, that's full coverage number 3. This is one that you haven't seen yet. I have like no stitches into it, but I love it. I just started it maybe the last day of November, just on a kick for no reason. This is Madonna and Child, and this is an Artisy my brain just turned off. An Artisy piece. It was charted by Artisy. And so this is the only Artisy chart that I have. And it is the smallest full coverage piece I also have. That is, so for example, Empress is 350,000 stitches approximately. This one's only 67,000. So it's going to be a lot of block stitching with black, as you can tell. And I thought about just doing this one in diagonals, just all the way across by page. I haven't done that in a long time. So that's my consideration for this one. Oh, the flossy cowboy has come into the room.
Did you hear me making the house more beautiful?
I did. And so that's one of the full coverage. Another one, this one is massive. I love this one, but I'm intimidated by its size. It's Foxglove Ball. This is by Amy Stewart. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Oh, it's so good. Look at that. My goodness. I love this one. This has been one of my favorites for a long time, but like I said, I'm intimidated by its size because it's like 500 something. Let me see. 520,000 stitches. Oh. And my itty bitty start, which is 2,000 stitches. I love this one. I need votes, guys. I need your input. Tell me what you think. I like that one too. The colors on this are fresh. So that's one as well. Then I have Father Christmas. I can never remember Father Christmas with Toys, but I can never remember the artist on this one. This is a Heaven and Earth design chart. This is what it will look like. It's so pretty. And on this one, I have about 9,000 stitches done. You can see this is all snow and the trees, and this is the very top of his hat coming in. This one's about 200. It's just over 200,000, I think. So I like this one too. This is my second oldest whip. I started this in 2019. Put 100 stitches into it. I hadn't stitched enough, and I don't know if you can tell, but these are all shades of white and gray. And then you have purple in there, and so I was having trouble seeing. So I put it away and didn't pick it up again until I started stitching again in 2021. The next one is the piece for my, the Flossy Cowboy. Let's see if I can find it. It is Dragon's Last Fight. Also a Heaven and Earth. All of these are essentially Heaven and Earth. that one there. Started in the year of the dragon, February 2024. And I have like 3,500 stitches on this one. And it's that tree up in this corner. You can see that tree in the corner up here. So that's a full coverage option. I don't think you've seen this one either. This one was also kind of on a whim. And it's by Amy Stewart. It's the Magic Grotto. This is a smaller one too. It's 140,000. It's really pretty. The Magic Grotto. Man, these are pretty. I love the colors of Amy Stewart designs. And I just have it going across the top there. So, across the top of the first 2 pages maybe? Yeah, right up here. Here. So, there's an option. I really love this one. This one I probably will work on. This is for the Gorgeous Geisha Sal. I started this and worked on it for just a couple days in November. I have 1,000 stitches on it. It's Tsukiyuagi. Tsukiyuagi. This is what it'll look like. Oh, so pretty. There is a lot of block stitching in this, which I love, but it's going to be probably not exciting for you guys for the first however long. As you can see, it's just one color, and this is over 1,000 stitches. So there's an option. And then how many do I have left? See, I told you I have way too many full coverage pieces that I don't know which ones to work on. This one I do love as well. This is a well-known Amy Stewart design, a stitching shelf. I have 2,000 stitches on this one. This is 375,000, so it's a big one, which is what I gravitate towards. So much fun to stitch. Look at those. Oh, so pretty. My goodness. And then I'm up in the left corner, spring. You can see the flowers coming. It's just so pretty. Ooh. So, curious what you guys think. Oh, man. This one I might just have to pull out. Look at that. Look at that, Mike. It's so pretty.
Beautiful.
Whew.
That's the geisha?
No, this is the geisha. It's just like $7.59, I think, and that's it. This is a stitching shelf. This is the fitting. This is one of Mike's preferred charts as well. He likes this one, as well as the dragon one. I love this one too. This is the big one, $3.48. Look at that. It matches our house. It's just perfect.
Here's what I found.
Oh, I just activated Siri. Sorry. I have over 2,000 on this one too. This one is up in the left corner, so it's all grays and darks as well. I gravitate towards really expansive backgrounds with dark colors apparently. So, not much to see. Let me hold that up so I don't make you guys queasy. And then last but not least, one that I'm hesitant, I'm debating as well. Lady of Shalott. I love this artwork. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs. This is 504,000 stitches. This is absolutely beautiful. I love this artwork. But let me see if I can show you the preview. I guess the preview's not bad, but there's something about the preview that's off-putting to me. I think it's the boat. The colors in the boat down here seem show you the picture again. Maybe it's just in my head. I don't know. But I am hesitant to stitch 500 and 2,000 stitches and not like something about it. But I love it at the same time, so I'm conflicted. I have over 2,000 in this one as well, and it's similar. A lot of dark, a lot of black, expansive background, and dark colors. So those are all my full coverage pieces. The only one that has a definitive goal is Empress Eugenie, which is 36,000 stitches if I can achieve that. So tell me which ones you think I should start for or continue or work on in 2025, because I'm mixed up thoughts on all of them. But let me see. Let's finish out with miscellaneous and fancy ladies. Then I have some plans, and that will be it. So the next grouping is miscellaneous. This is Jesus by, it's a Vervaco. I should practice my Italian. Kit. And I am stitching it with a kit floss, but I've changed it to, I believe it's a 28 count mushroom Lugana. Oh. My goodness, that's so, every time I see this, I love this. And so the goal for this one, I would love to get this one finished. It's so good. So
work on my dragon.
So Mike's vote is the dragon. It's like the one that calls to me least. That one. So that's Jesus. Then I have a gift that I want to, this one will also, what I want to accomplish is to get it finished. It's called Pretty Little Hong Kong by Satsuma Street. I'm stitching this 2/2 on 18 count fiddler's cloth. And I'd love to get this one done too. I don't have many that are goals for a finish, but this I think has a surprisingly significant number of stitches compared to what I thought it did. So we shall see. And this is a gift for someone. That is why I want to get it done. It's not a gift for any like designated, not like, oh, for your birthday. It's just a general gift. So there's nothing like deadline wise, but I want to get it finished. Next is the Blue Flower, Night Walked Down. I started this, was this started on my 32nd birthday maybe? Which means I need to get it done. I'm stitching it 2/2 on, picture this plus, 2/2 on 36 count, picture this plus bramble. That's where I am. And for this, I would love, I didn't come up with a plan or a goal, but I obviously want to get the girl finished. I would love to get one of like 50% done. 1/2 of the border done, and then a big flower section. So, and I'm using all the called for, except I used an Instash color to make the cat black, because the called for was this color. So, yeah. And I'll have to take a look. I don't remember what that was. If you have any questions, or if you're curious, I can let you know what that is. And then Fancy Ladies is the last pile that I'm going to focus on. And the goals, like I said, for all of these are essentially 1/4 of the pattern done, 25%. The first one is a stitch along that I am stitching with Sherry from Share Bear Stitcher and Emily from Eclectic Possessions. Emily C. You'd all very familiar with both of them, I'm sure. We are stitching Blackbird by Mirabilia. Mirabilia Blackbird Sow. And I'll link all of these things below. I'm stitching mine on a 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus. And this is where I am. She's so pretty. Got one of my hairs on it. There we go. And so 25% of this pattern. I would love to get that done. Next is a lavender and lace called Angel of the Sea, I believe. This is it. So good. I don't have very much on this one done, but same 25% of the first page. Be a big wing. Man, that's beautiful. These big white wings. Oh, so good. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count Storm Lugana by Picture This Plus. I just started smack in the middle. And this, I found Lavender and Lace does a really, it's kind of similar to Mirabilia in charting design in that working from top to bottom really flows, except that with Mirabilia, I feel like there's more block stitching that's incorporated. And with Lavender and Lace, it's a lot more like, you see how these just flow down? Everything kind of has movement from a top down flowing in this direction. So I really want to get to the top and work down. My dog is trapped on that chair, surrounded by project bags. She's like, let me down. I'm like, nope, you're stuck. And so you can see everything kind of flows in this direction. And so, oh, she's pretty. Well, she's pretty. This is okay. Next is, oh, this is Le Nouveau Dragon. This is a Patreon piece by Nora Corbett. It's Fire and Ice. This is the original artwork, or a picture of the artwork, I should say, that inspired. And so she has two different colorways, one with reds and purples and bright oranges and yellows, and one with greens and purples. And I'm doing the bright colored one, the reds and the oranges. And I put not too much in on this, like a day, I think. Oh, I've got something on it. Hold on. There we go. And I'm stitching, this is just the tip of a wing. I'm going to stitch this. It's a lot of Krynic. I don't know if you can tell. In there. Look at that. This is on a 32 count Picture This Plus called Into the Veil. I think it's pretty. I would love to get this done. That would be my goal on this one, if possible. That one's a little bit of a stretch goal with all my other goals as well. Then Mirabilia, Lady of the Flag. She's similar to the Angel of the Sea, where you really should work. You should stitch however is most comfortable. But for me, working from top to bottom on her is a lot. It makes sense because of the way things flow from her gown and the flag. So this is also stitched on 32 count Picture This Plus Storm. And this is where I am. Really, I'd like to get the first half of this, the top part of this chart done, to be quite honest. She's beautiful. You can get her a lot of progress on her. That would be great. And then my last fancy lady, except for a couple planned new starts, is the Oriental Lady of Wisdom. This is a Joan Elliott design. In the Oriental Odyssey cross-stitch book. And I'm stitching this. Well, this was gifted to me. The linen was gifted to me by a colleague who is also stitching this. This is where I am. I have worked on this a little bit this year. And the goal, I'd love to get the top half of this one done too, to be honest. But we're going to say a quarter. So Man, she's pretty. So that is that one. And then last but not least, some new start plans. I want to have a low start year because I have numerous whips, and if you do want a whip parade, you let me know. And I wanted to show you a really amazing kit I got, and then a gift my husband gave me for Christmas. So the first potential new start is a Mirabilia. This is Florence. Florence. Why am I blanking on this? I shouldn't be blanking on this. No, this one's Nightingale. It's inspired by Florence Nightingale, as you can tell by the Lady of the Lantern. She's inspired by the nursing profession, which is relevant. I thought she would be a perfect start in the year that I finish my terminal degree as Doctor of Nursing Practice. So I will be done with school. I'll be the highest level I can be as a nurse, and I will be greatly appreciative of never going back to school again, but thankful for the journey of getting to this point. So, and I'm going to stitch her on a Grace Notes fabrics called Brown Sugar Boba in 32 count. So, yeah. All those blues on this I think are going to look beautiful. So, I haven't decided when I want to start her. Maybe in May when I graduate. I would love to be like a start and a finish this year. Kind of like I did with, you can kind of see her. The Snow Maiden up there. But we shall see. It's a lot of stitching goals. The next one is going to be a stitch along with Katie. She is starting gathering eggs. I believe she plans on starting this February 20th. So I will be joining her in that stitch along. It's a beautiful spring piece. I'm excited to start this one. I've very much enjoyed this piece for a long time. This is a fabric called Hazelwood. It's a 32 count Lugana by Fiber on the Whim called Hazelwood. I think this is going to go beautifully with. That would be upside down. This is all fabric that shows through down here. So, yeah. So that's another planned start in February. This is also a gift. This is the accompanying gift to the Little Hong Kong. This is Pretty Little Toronto. And so I want to finish Hong Kong and get this one started because it's a gift for a couple. He's from Toronto and she's from Hong Kong. So pretty. And then my husband, the Flossy Cowboy, he has decided that he's desperate for a pillow bowl. And so he's like, you stitch too many big projects. But instead of complaining too much, he bought me a whole slew of pattern palooza of smalls for this new year to stitch. And so these will all be starts. I don't know if they'll be finishes. I hope they'll be finishes. But these are all starts for a smalls option and pillow bowls moving forward. This one's an Erin Elizabeth design called Quack Quack Honk. Excuse me. And he got all of these for me for Christmas. That's so cute. Look how springy that is. I'll probably start these in spring and summer. I might start this one this year. So, excuse me, this month. And then most of the floss I was able to pull from stash. I have a couple I'll have to see about, but then he got one from Hands On Design called Stitch Some Happy, and I might start that this month. This looks very New Year's to me. I don't know if I have fabric. It's on a 30. Oh, I have fabric. It's 32 count flax. I'm sure I can find something like that. And then all of these bright colors. Ooh, don't look at the chart. Yeah. No chart, just these colors. And then I have F is for flag, the red, white, and blue. And this is a hands-on design. This is a mattress pincushion. And I will start this one not in autumn. What am I saying? 4th of July. And so it came with the little wool felt that is attached up here at the top. Yep. And then Easter, I love these ones. This is by Puntini Cross Stitch, designed by Paolo Rizzi. These are so stinking cute. Look at that Easter basket full of eggs. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. And so these fun, I keep saying autumn. These are definitely not autumn colors, spring colors. So this one will be in, I don't know when Easter falls this year, March, April, that time frame. And then this is a amazing kit, so much fun, from Tammy. TP Makes, Tammy Cinnamon Stitches. And you should check out her Flosstube. Like I said, she has all of these on her last Flosstube. And I don't know if she has any kits left, but I do think that the patterns are still available for purchase outside of a kit. But it's a collection, a story of the McFreeze brothers, a Joe and Steve McFreeze adventure. And so these are the super adorable smalls for Christmas winter that I saved them for this past, I'm going to stitch them this upcoming winter. Oh my gosh, they're in sunglasses. I can't get over it. It was just the most beautifully put together kit I've ever seen. Look at, it came with a, look at that. It's just so pretty. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I can't handle it. The little floss ring with the floss drops. It's just adorable. It came with all of the matching backing fabric and the Aida for each one, as well as all the floss. It's just darling. What I can't show you, unfortunately, is the needle minder, which I love because I have it attached somewhere on a project. All the primary colors.
Don't forget the Krynick.
Oh, that's next.
I'm the Krynick cowboy. I think it's changing my name.
The Krynick cowboy. All these beautiful primary colors. So this will be smalls for 2024 as well. And then last but not least, I can't forget the Krynick. My sweet husband, knowing that Krynick is difficult to come by currently because of production, set it in his mind that he was going to enhance my Krynick stash for Christmas. And so he did so. He bought a whole bunch of Krynick and stuffed it all in my stocking. Look at these. All sorts of, a lot of this is actually blending filament, which is, look at, I don't have very much blending filament, and I've already actually been able to use some for the Carousel polar bear. They're just so pretty. I found a stash. I think this one is glow in the dark. Can't really see it. There we go. So he enhanced my Krynick collection, for which I'm very grateful, because right now it's a bit of a challenge to find Krynick, as you all are well aware, I'm sure. I'm eager for them to catch up on backlogged production. I think didn't Rainbow Gallery buy them out? Yeah. So that is plans for 2025. That's a lot, but I think it'll be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with you guys moving forward and seeing all the progress on all your beautiful work. I hope that you have a marvelous rest of the week, a quiet beginning to the new year, and that this next year is full of blessings. God bless.